idea. But what it was happening, it was on a movie. I keep it ambiguous, but it was on a movie that I was doing that had a kind of older actor, and he had a stunt guy that had been his guy for like about 8 or 9 years or so, and there was really nothing for him. So but then one day the actor came to me and he goes, look, I got a guy. He's kind of been my guy for the last 8 or 9 years as my stunt guy. And I haven't busted your balls about it because he's not really nothing for him. But that gag coming up on Thursday, he could do that. So would you mind, if I let him come in for the day to do that bit? And yeah, sure, no problem. And so the guy showed up, and one of the things about it was you could tell that 8 years ago, 6 years ago, even 5 years ago, that they were probably like a perfect double. I mean, like you could probably just close up this stuff. All right, just boom. All right, well, that day wasn't the day. All right, they'd kind of grown apart a little bit. And it was also kind of funny because I'm used to, the stunt guys, everybody on the movie, working for me. Okay, this guy was not working for me. He was working for the actor. But, the actor told me stories about, when they worked together and stuff. And I kind of saw, like, the whole history of their career together.
In the way they talk to each other.
Yeah, and there was this one time, they only worked for one day, but it's like they're both dressed in, like, identical outfits. Because that's what you do. They're dressed in identical outfits, and they're sitting in two director's chairs together, two old duffers. And they're sitting there just shooting the shit with each other. Like, I'm sure they've done a million times, on sets, going back for 10 years every day. That was kind of part of his job. It was to kind of keep the guy company. And again, dressed exactly alike because they're both wearing each other's costumes.
Entourage.
Yeah, exactly. And then, but I really can't get over the idea that they're dressed in the exact same costumes with an attempt to do the same hair. And so I'm just sitting there talking, and look, this guy shoot the breeze. And imagining all the time they've done that before, and I go, wow. That's an interesting relationship. There's a whole interesting story there. If one day, I've always wanted to do a movie about Hollywood, about the making of movies or something like that. And if ever that day comes out, then I think this would be a good way inside the story. This would be a good way inside. And so then I just kind of like, I work on it in between projects, for a little bit, kind of move the rock up the hill, and then put it aside and do the next thing, and then just kind of, this last time after Hateful Eight was the time that I actually took it over the finish line.
Wow, it seems like it would have been fed by your film collection and running the New Beverly, because you programmed that theater, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah. Well, I mean, there was this aspect to it that, because I was in 1969. I was 8. All right, so and I knew what Los Angeles was like back then because that's when I was there. And watching old Western reruns on television during the day and the syndication, and knowing what the TV guide looked like and all that stuff, and also being interested in that stuff. So kind of following actors. I mean, I would like watch every time John Saxon would guest on an episodic TV show. I'd watch it, whether it was like one of his 9 Gunsmokes or a $6 Million Man episode, or where he plays the vampire.
Sounds like a John Saxon.
Yeah. Or he plays the vampire on Starsky and Hutch. I would collect those kind of like follow those kind of actors. So there was this aspect when I started. Okay, oh my God, as I'm writing this, I'm like really kind of getting into it. I'm like, wow, this may be the movie that I've practiced, that I've never been more prepared to write, because I've just spent my entire life putting all this shit into my head, all right? So, and I'm making references that, all the people who are going to get them are like 72 or 73 or 74, all right?
Or really geeky.
Yeah, or really geeky like me. I mean, that was actually really cool, because whenever I gave the script